Definitely better than having that angle.
Yeah. We
Right.
good?
We are ready to rock. I'm feeling good. You feeling good?
Great party people. Addiction and Recovery Talk, episode 29. I'm Derek. This is my man Mike. Here we go again.
I'm going to take the start on this one because I crashed my Harley this morning.
What?
And I'm kind of feeling pretty shitty about that.
Man.
Just took a few chunks out of my hands. Lucky I had some gear on. I'm a little sore. I dropped the bike, hit a car, spun around, did a couple 360s, a couple tumbles, boom, boom, got up, brushed it off like I was Superman. But
That sucks.
we here, yeah, it sucks. I'm pretty sure the bike's wrecked. That is my primary vehicle. I don't drive anything else. I ride my motorcycle everywhere. There's nobody to be mad at. It was all my fault. And the people were cool. They didn't call the cops. They trusted us to, just exchange information, and we're going to cut them a cashier's check when they come back to us with an estimate. And they were
Nobody got
honorable
hurt?
enough to trust us, Just a little bit of damage on the front end of their car, like on the bottom piece. It didn't even cut the paint. It just got that black plastic piece on the bottom.
Yeah.
So they're going to take it to body shop tomorrow morning. Actually, it's right around the block from here. They were cool as shit. So shout out to Mike and Lisa. Don't know their last names, but they're awesome. And they had a young daughter, a young couple, which is, cool people. She actually got out of the car, and the first thing she said is, so I spun around and the bike moved. So she drove off, parked her car, and by the time she had parked and come over, I was kind of just like coming to, because, it knocks you silly a little bit. And I was picking the bike up and starting to push the bike because I had, I'd crashed before. So I knew I just needed to stand up, give myself a second, catch my bearings, kind of take a 180, 360, look around,
Yeah.
get the gist of where I am, what's around me, get my bearings, and then start to get the bike off the road, assess the situation, and handle it. So I was getting the bike off the road. Her first thing, she comes walking up and just said, "Nobody's out here helping? Nobody stopped to help you?" And she helped me push the bike off the road. She didn't say anything, didn't come at me with an attitude, nothing.
Right.
And it was my fault. She wasn't at fault at all. It was
Right.
completely my fault. And then I'm like, I go over to her, I'm like, "Hey, look, I know it was my fault. Is there any way we can not involve the police with this? If I can just, She's like, I gotta call my husband." I'm like, I wish you would. I hope you do. Please do, so I can talk to your husband. And this woman comes out with Band-Aids and water, and she's putting Neosporin on my hands. And listen, all she had to do was pull over and call the cops. All she had to do was pull over and call the cops.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't.
Right.
And she helped me. And then trusted me to pay her. With the young couple with a young daughter. Obviously wasn't swimming in money.
Mm-hmm.
There's good people out there.
There are some. Still.
Yeah, there's still some good people out there. And if
And she looked out for you. She took care of you.
The more you emulate that authenticity and that goodness from yourself, the more you'll have interactions with people like that, as opposed to the latter. The opposite.
Yeah.
So I can say that it's a shitty situation. I know everybody always says look for the positive, and
You didn't get killed.
yeah, I can always say that. I can thank
didn't
God
get
that I'm
maimed.
here. I'm barely hurt. Yeah.
Yeah, it could have been a lot worse.
It was
And you could have hurt them.
yeah, I think, it was a lesson, and as long as we'll learn from it and it won't happen again. And that's it. That's how you got to handle your shit. You don't look at it as, I skated by, I'm okay, I can do the dumb shit again that I was doing. Everything's a lesson. And then you either take it as a lesson or it becomes more of a harsh lesson.
Yeah.
And bad shit's gonna happen on your way to the top. All you guys who are new into recovery and shit's been going well and you're riding a big wave
The pink cloud.
and things are good, shit's gonna come down. It's just bound to happen. It's life.
On life terms.
Yeah, it ain't gonna be on your terms, dude. It's gonna be on a morning when you got clients and you're running around and it's the worst possible time financially. That's when it's gonna happen. And you're gonna have to handle it or not. And if you don't handle it, it will happen again until you learn how to handle it. Life's gonna keep teaching you a lesson, and you can either look at it as, oh, I'm in bad luck, but no, it's not bad luck. It's life teaching you your lesson. Because if you learn from that shit, it wouldn't happen again. You would be doing the proper things to stay out of it. This is why everything's a lesson. And you need to look at it as a lesson and not just shit's happening to me for no reason. You need to really start to analyze and reflect on your life and your day and the issues that cause, how do I word this, big, like a large impression on your life. Things that have a tendency to alter your days in a big way. There's something in there, and you need to find that. I've not had it yet be the opposite. And that's where I'm at.
I had a good experience last night. Went to a meeting last night, right? The guy I sponsor, so he's my sponsee. His sponsee, which is really what we call my grand sponsee.
Your grand sponsee, I love it.
He celebrated 3 years last night.
Congratulations, grand sponsee.
He asked me to come. I was like, of course I'm going to come. So I met a guy he sponsors. So I'm the sponsor. I have a sponsee. He has a sponsee, and then he has a sponsee. So that guy was my
That's the chain.
my great sponsee. Yeah. It's like I don't know.
Good things that he started. Good
And
things
it was nice because we all took a picture together at the end.
Yeah.
But check this out, bro. There was this 3 years clean, and this guy is a year older than me, so he's 59 years old. So for 56 years, well, he didn't get clean until he was 56. Let's put it that way. And so he's probably used drugs. Let's say about 40 years.
Since he was in his teens.
Yeah, most of us start
Yeah.
when we're like. I started when I was 11, so most people start around then, or definitely by the time you're 13 or 14, usually back in our era especially, right? And so his sister was there, right? And his mom was there. His mom was 84 years old, right? And at the very end, it was a good meeting. He shared, it was great. And the room was packed. And he's not from this area. He's from North Jersey, right?
For his party? That's what everybody was there for?
For his celebration.
Nice.
It was packed. And so it shows he's been making an impact in this 3 years since he's been in this area. And clean 3 years, met a lot of people support him, a lot of people he's helped. He's really, and I've known him probably for a couple of years now, and
That's what it's all about.
we're cool, man. And it's at the very end. Usually people don't share unless they're addicts at the meeting. But when it's like anniversaries or stuff like that, sometimes we'll let their family members say a little something, whatever. So the very last two people that shared was his sister and his mother. And his sister's like 5 years younger than him. And he's been a screw up. You know what I'm saying? So like at the end, when he was ready to go to rehab, I guess he had promised I'm gonna change many, many times. So when he said it the last time, she didn't really believe him. She was like, yeah, right. And the mother blew my mind, because he has one of those mothers that remind me of my mom, that just didn't give up on him. You know what I mean? That's her son, like, you know what I mean? And she just, she said, sometimes I didn't like you, but I always loved you, right? So that was nice, right? So the sister was, telling stuff from her perspective, and she was sharing about one time you know, I guess she heard some yelling in the house. It was her father yelling at him. He was so whacked out, drunk, whatever. He, I guess, got up, thought he was in the bathroom, and he peed in the living room. You know what I mean, on the table or something. The father went off on him. He was out of it, and you know, she cursed him out and said, "Look at you, you're an embarrassment. You're this, you're that." You know, she was going off on him. And so, like, that last time, he really wanted to go, and the mother called. She picked up her mother. They went and picked him up. They took him to the rehab, and the sister said she waited outside the rehab for
Make
an hour.
sure he went in.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff, and then she was just sharing, and the whole time she was there with her husband, and they were holding hands the whole time. And I was just looking at them. I was like, and they were so happy that her brother is, and she's like, I said, it's blowing my mind that all these people are seeing all these good stuff about my brother, and apparently, like, you guys are together and you guys support each other. And she was like blown away. And she shared, it was nice. But then when the mother shared, and she started talking about the stuff, you know, that she was feeling, dude, I was fighting back tears because it made me remember my mom. My mom's gone now. My mom's been gone since, I think, 2018, right? 2018. And that was my biggest supporter. I mean, like, my mother came and got me at like 2 or 3 in the morning.
Oh yeah, we have that in common.
The last time I got high, and I was just done. And I called my mom, and she was like, "Just come home." And I go to start my car, my truck, and I ran out of gas. I had to call her back, collect.
Yeah, crazy ass shit. Calling our mom, the grown ass man,
like,
calling
collect.
our moms for help.
Could you come get me? Because I don't even have the gas. And my mother came and got me, and I'm just glad, man. And that's one of the things I love about the program. You get to see people change their lives and turn it around, and you get to see people and their families who like wrote them off, like they're done with them. And there's always that one person, it's usually the mother, that hangs in there.
Always.
You know what I'm saying? The father, I know my father was like, "Look, man, I'm done." Like, and my mother,
it's usually
my mother,
the mother or the father.
my mom, she didn't give up, man. I fought back tears when she was saying the stuff she was saying, and I had to meet her afterwards and talk to her. And you know, she had her little walker, and I told her my name. She told me her name. And we talked for a while, and she was just so happy and proud of her son, man. And it's like nice, man, because you know, once you get like in the 80s or 90s, you don't know how much longer a person's gonna. I mean, nobody knows how long somebody's gonna live, but when you're definitely that
you're
age,
approaching that.
Yeah, I mean,
you know, you're approaching the end. Of
you
that
got to be. You would think, unless you're gonna live to like 120 or something.
Yeah.
Like, but even if you live to a 90 or 100, you're still at the end because you live 84 years.
That's a pretty unless you're rich, that's a pretty tired end.
And oh man, it was just awesome, man. It was just like, wow, man, people can turn it around. That's the one thing about drug addiction and recovery, because our
That's why it's called recovery, baby, because you're recovering.
it's like so
Recover your life.
it's so far apart. Like, it's like addiction, the throes of addiction, you know, like, and the stuff that comes with it in jails, institutions, death, and then recovery, man, coming back to life. Like that Rocky story, like she was sharing about, like, he had no license, he had no this, he had no that, and now he's got this job, and he's getting promoted, and he's doing this, he's working, and like, it's like, wow, he turned it around. All these people came to support him, and he's got a girlfriend, and she shared, and she's happy with him, and it's just like, and he's got 4 kids, and 2 of them are in his life now, because the other 2, they're not ready yet, but you know, that's part of the deal. Everybody comes around when they're ready, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it took years to make that kind of damage, and it takes years to repair it sometimes. It doesn't happen overnight. And
listen, some games, some people may not ever come around.
that's
This
a reality.
is something you need to understand. This is the damage that you're doing.
Yeah.
You're hurting people that bad.
Yeah.
To the point to where they're never gonna. They don't give a fuck whether you get better.
Yeah, they're done. The damage is You know.
You don't want to be that person.
No.
You don't want to be that. You don't want to hurt people like that. It's just not cool.
Yeah.
One, it's shit for your reputation.
Yeah.
Two, it just sucks. It does not feel good to know that you did that to somebody.
Yeah.
Inherently, you know, that never feels any good. And if anybody is like, oh, I don't care about that, then you got to look in the mirror about yourself, because you got some issues if you truly don't care that you hurt somebody to that point.
Well, usually when you get clean, you start feeling again, because drugs numb you out. You care, man. If you got something inside, if you got some type of
Soul.
yeah, pretty much. So you feel like what you do, what you've done. That's why people, I think, continue to get high, is to mask the pain, and the guilt and shame.
I know I did that once. It was so bad, and I knew what I was doing, what I had done to people. I didn't want to face it. I didn't want to face life in general. I didn't want to face myself.
Yeah.
I never really liked getting high. I hated me. I hated who the fuck I was.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was nice, man, to be a part of that, man. To see that, man. And right now, I got 29 years
Yeah,
and 10
your 30's
months.
coming up, right?
Dude, and
Wait till we see how
I'm
many
2
people
months
turn out
away.
for that.
I'm 2 months away from that. November 5th is my date. And matter of fact, at my home group, every Sunday night in Turnersville, St. Charles Borromeo Church, one of our guys is celebrating 14 years, man. And he's got a hell of a story, man. I can't wait until tonight. Tonight's gonna be a big celebration, and you know,
14.
yeah, we got a home group. We got this one. This guy, he used to be my sponsor. He got 35 years. He just celebrated a couple weeks ago.
35 years, no poison.
Yeah,
You ever
man.
notice how weird it is too? Like if you tell people like, I don't drink, they always just assume you had an alcohol problem. Like, they're
Well,
always
that's a
like,
good assumption.
yeah. They're always like, if you're like, oh, I don't drink no more. They're like, oh, did you beat your kids? Or did you do this? Like, yeah, but you know, that's not necessarily the reason that I don't want to poison myself anymore. You know?
Well, you know, drinking is socially acceptable. That's what it is, and so like,
It's weird. To me.
it's almost like they think something's wrong with you if you don't drink.
To me, drinking was never a social thing. I was always getting. To me, it is.
I
just
didn't
getting
drink to be
fucked up.
social.
Yeah,
I drank
I drank to get shitty.
yeah, to get whacked, to get drunk, to like be. You know, I didn't do nothing in moderation.
Dude, it's crazy, dude. You tell people you don't drink, they assume you're crazy.
I tell them I break out.
But if you tell them like I don't drink water or something normal like that, they're like, oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, something I need. That's good for me.
They're like, oh, okay, I get that. It's
Yeah.
a new thing, huh? New diet, okay.
So I told somebody, yeah, I'm allergic to alcohol. I break out. They're like, you break out? Yeah, I break out in handcuffs.
Break out of handcuffs.
They're like, okay, you don't want me to be drinking. You don't. Be happy I'm
a
not
problem.
drinking.
I turn into a problem before I'm even drunk. Once the alcohol just like gets in my system,
Yes.
I start on people before I'm even drunk.
Yeah.
I start talking shit.
Yeah.
It's bad scene, dude.
Yeah. Yes. We have an allergic reaction to drugs, and alcohol is a drug. So.
Worst, one of the worst. Kills
I
more
think
brain
so.
cells than anything. More
Yeah.
people are in prison because of alcohol, more deaths because of alcohol. Oh, fentanyl is now finally starting to overtake that. Thank you. Thank you for our government allowing that to happen.
There's money involved in
Yeah.
fentanyl. It's a lot of money, man, to be made.
Well, it just seems to be every time we go to war with a country that grows poppy, heroin, and opiates get really bad in America. So,
It's crazy.
it's just coincidence, though. It's a coincidence, though, guys. It's a complete coincidence.
But guess what?
Just magically
No matter
happens.
no matter what's going on, we have a choice. Do we want to do it or we do not want to do it? Do we want to live right? Do we want to exercise? Do we want to,
Yeah.
read? Do we want to educate ourselves? Do we want to try to be better human beings?
That shit don't fit in with any of that.
It's almost like something's wrong with you, or something's wrong with you if you try to, do the right thing and
It's an act of rebellion these days for these kids to be
Yeah.
healthy.
Yeah. Most most people think it's like I lived this lifestyle for many, many years where, especially like it's football season now.
It's normal to just get shit faced on the weekend.
So like me and my friends used to, you know,
oh, yeah, I was coked
get
up every Sunday.
get with the first game, 1 o'clock, maybe start getting whacked out a little before.
Mm-hmm. Pre-game, and I was coked out by halftime.
Get jacked out for that game, and then the next game, and then whatever after that. But we would get trashed and order pizza and wings and this and that. So most people, right? Think about it. Most people think it's cool, or this is a thing to do, is to work hard all week and get trashed on the weekends and party and go to clubs and do this and do that, and then recuperate, I guess, Monday you go to work hangover or tired,
Stick to your dead-end job all
and
week.
then Tuesday you feel a little better, and Wednesday and Thursday, and then here it go. And now think about it, they got Monday night football, they got Thursday night football, they even had the Eagles on Friday.
Bro, that's the death cycle, man.
So they want people to, they want to get all the money they can.
You're gonna be a mental slave. That's what that's gonna make you.
Yeah, I mean, so like I remember that was my lifestyle, like hanging out with my friends, going to the games, or watching the games, getting together, and drinking, doing whatever, smoking weed or whatever, and eating bad food.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Eating unhealthy food.
That's what it is.
You know what I mean? Like we're gonna order hoagies.
While you watch other men do great things,
Yeah.
while you sit on your ass and argue about it and cheer them on and do nothing for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I all right. Let me tell you, I got growing up, and I picked my teams when I was young for whatever reason. I like the Yankees in baseball. I like the Miami Dolphins in football. I like the Philadelphia 76ers in basketball, and I like the New York Rangers in hockey. Those are the four major sports when I was growing up that those were my team, and I like the Michigan Wolverines in college football. So those were my teams growing up. And like when we were growing up and going to high school and after high school and young adults, we would get drunk and argue about our teams. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like argue, like I got a stake in this. Like, you know what I mean? And your team sucks. It was the last time they went to the Super Bowl. Like all that, you know what I mean? And,
Yeah.
and like, I still like my teams, but
it's so foreign.
I
to me
don't-
now caring that much.
dude, I only watched
Just
one
so
football
foreign.
game last
Like,
year.
what?
I only watched one. That was a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And I went to a party,
Yeah,
and
just because you had
and I
to,
just-
you're at a party.
Yeah, and it was cool because that's why I went there for.
Yeah.
And I watched the game, but
I agree.
it was more like we were having fun.
We were just chopping it up.
We got
the
to,
game was
yeah,
on.
yeah, and I was just busting balls the whole time because I didn't really care who won. And I remember, when I was a kid, like I like Dolphins. I was about 16, and Dolphins lost to somebody in the Super Bowl, and my father kept busting me, man. I actually had to leave the room and go upstairs and cry because he kept teasing me that my team lost. I took it probably harder than the people on the team.
Didn't they lose to the Eagles?
The Dolphins,
Yeah.
not in the Super Bowl. They lost to the Redskins or somebody.
Ah.
And yeah, I think it was the Redskins that particular year. Yeah, they never played the Eagles in the Super Bowl. And I mean, like, I like them. I hope they win, but it ain't that serious no more for me. You know what I mean?
No, me neither, man. I remember I used to argue that shit too. And it was
Yeah.
like, now it's so foreign. Like, just to think, why would you give a shit about a sports team? Like, it's a sports team.
Yeah,
It's grown men playing a sport.
yeah, they
It
get
has
paid.
nothing to do with you.
I mean,
You got shit going on. You got a real life to handle. If you're overweight, if you're out of shape, if you ain't living the life you want to be living, if you're not dating the woman you want to be dating, if you're not driving the car you want to be driving, if you're not living in the house you want to be living in, you got shit to do. And you shouldn't be putting that much of your energy and that much of your stake into a football team that's doing, because really think about this. Does it really matter? What is gonna do for you if that team wins or loses? It doesn't mean shit.
I don't even think the people on the team. I mean, I'm sure they don't like to lose, but first of all, they make
don't care anymore.
they make big money, right? So like, if they lose, they probably go on vacation to get over it. You know what I'm saying?
Or they go get a supermodel.
Whatever. They I don't think they take it as hard as the people who watch them, their fans. Because like, you know,
I agree.
I'm serious, and people really take it crazy. They get crazy with it. Want to argue you down, man. When I was like, I first moved to this area, right? I moved from Philadelphia to Cherry Hill, and that was the year the Yankees played the Phillies in the World Series, right? So I'm going to shop, right? This place, that place, and I'm wearing my Yankees hat, right? Yo, man, people were getting nasty with me. Like, I was like, damn. Like, talking trash because I'm wearing a Yankees hat, you know what I mean? I'm in South Jersey, that's like Philadelphia territory. And I was cracking up. I'm like, man, they take this shit serious. Like,
You were a little out of control in Philly.
like, damn, I'm wearing a hat. I guess, you know, and then the Phillies, I think they won the first 2 games, and then they, you know, Yankees ended up winning the World Series, and everybody was quiet after that.
It's so funny too. Then they go on the sports talk radios and talk all the shit about the sport, about the team in the world. They love them. They love them, Philly sports teams, and then they hate them as soon as they lose.
They're very.
They hate them.
They turn their team in a minute.
Bunch of two-faced fucks.
They're bad, man. I gotta say that they turn their team quick. But it just cracks me up, man. And right now, I just started my hot yoga training, so that's my, you know, big goal right now. You know what I mean? I have to learn a lot, and I have to learn the dialogue to be able to speak it as I, you know, when I become a teacher. You know, stand in front of the class and say the
So
dialogue.
you're teaching Bikram?
Yeah, that's.
So why don't you tell the story of Bikram? Do you know that story?
As far as
All of his misconduct?
I actually
Well,
watched
that'll be
his.
fun if you know that story.
Yeah, I watched the there's a special on Netflix about it, and so I watched it
He's
3
basically
times.
a perv.
Alleged,
Alleged.
because you know, I watched it after I started doing the hot yoga, so to watch it and to see how the people talk about it, I can really appreciate, because people who, like me, for instance, who tried it and like, you know, fell into it and love it, it's like a passion. It's like life-changing. I could do things that, and you know what's crazy?
So what about Bikram?
Okay,
What did he do?
well, he
What did he do to get in, that made him so? Why did he have to go on the run? Why did he have to leave the country?
well, first of all,
Because he was teaching Bikram yoga. Bikram was a person who
well,
had
he
this
he
style
put
of
his
yoga.
name. It was the yoga was already created.
Yeah, he brought it to America.
He brought it to America,
put
and
his name on it.
And I think the 70s he made it very popular up in California and Hollywood with the stars. Certain stars really gravitated to it, and I guess they started going to wherever he was teaching, and he
fucking him.
he got really popular. And then he still has these seminars or retreats, whatever you want to call them, but he doesn't have it in America no more. And you got to pay big money to go through his training, and I think it's 9 weeks, and then you get certified by him, and that's like the biggest, that's like the most best certification you can get, because you know he's famous. It's Bikram Yoga, and so like you get his stamp of approval, you can go anywhere and teach yoga, and you won't even have to I don't think audition or nothing, because his name means that much. And some of my teachers were trained by him, and they told me how the training was, this and that. It was like, it's like you go to this place for 9 weeks, this big hotel, whatever, and it's like yoga all day and class, and it's like boot camp for yoga, and it's like, you know, it's crazy. And so
Why'd they run him out of the country though? So he was doing that in America. Though,
there was a
right?
lot of allegations by women, whatever, that he sought out, and on that special they talked about this one girl. Basically, he pushed himself on them, or he came at them to have sex with them, and if the girl like everybody's different. So some girls would be like, just go with the flow and let him do what he wants to do because they want his stamp of approval because they want to start their own hot yoga studio when they get back, and then they complain about it later. And then I know this one girl talked about like, yo, what are you doing? You're like my father figure to me, and then he like backed off. She said. So it depends on who he came to and who he came at and how they reacted to it. You know what I mean? And so like, and they said he didn't sleep much. And so he would call certain people and say, come over and watch TV with me, watch movies. And he would watch those Bollywood movies.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess when it was time to leave, they would leave and then he would just, oh, let me talk to you for a second. And then they're alone and he would do whatever he wanted to do. And so those are the
They
allegations.
saying he was forcing himself on people.
I guess
So
it's one.
that's just having sex. It's illegal to have a business and have sex with people. Isn't that crazy?
Well, it's like this.
It seems weird that
Um,
would, just
It
that
seems
would
like
be illegal.
it seems like everything that he was accused of, it was like he wasn't like charged with. They didn't call the police at the time it happened.
Mm.
They're complaining about it long after
You
it
think
happened.
it's maybe just another thing about our system getting people to say things in order to stop the raising of consciousness?
It's like one of those things.
Because our,
I-
government is known to be involved
Well,
in
I'll
things
put it
of
to you
that
like
nature.
this. I saw the special, and I asked a couple of my teachers who were trained by him, because like, especially my one teacher, she speaks very highly of him. I've always noticed. I was like, wow, she really likes him, and she always told me he would like you because you're big and because you're a weightlifter, and he was a weightlifter. That's why he started doing it because he had injuries, and she said he would like you, and so. I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna say something to her. Then one day I decided to say something because I was like, she really seems to like this guy. And I asked her, I told her what I saw and what I thought about the special. I said, do you think he did that? And she said, yeah, I think he, I was like, really? She was like, yeah, I saw a lot of stuff and this and that. And she said, I just choose to just focus on the good things about him and the good things. She said, but I definitely believe that could have happened because I saw some stuff.
But okay, let me ask you something.
Mhm.
Okay, you're teaching someone. You invite them over late at night to watch TV, to watch movies.
Right.
Then they're gonna act like they don't know why you were inviting them over, and then they sleep with you. But why is that even illegal?
Why is it illegal?
That's illegal to sleep with someone.
Against their will, it is.
So that's what they're saying now. Now there's okay. So they're saying he forced it, and they were under duress because they wanted their certification from him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now,
Oh.
now
Yeah,
let
that
me
sounds
say
like
this. Let me
bullshit.
say this. I watched it 3 times, but I don't remember exactly everything. I would like to watch it again and maybe revisit this. But from what I recollect, it was like one of those things where later on it was discussed about his behavior, and then I think somebody came forward and then another person came forward. It's like a chain reaction type of thing. Oh, it happened to you too? It was almost like that Bill Cosby thing. Like when somebody is that big and powerful and have that much influence and they have stuff that you want and they can help you with, that's a position of power. So if you're in a position of power and you're an abuser,
Right. Yeah. If
That's-
you're an
that's-
abuser, that's
that's-
fucked
that's-
up. But
that's-
see, I
that's
didn't
messed
know.
up.
I didn't know that he was forcing himself on them. So
I
if they
don't
were just going
know
over and sleeping
if
with
it
him.
was-
That's whatever.
their
Their choice.
And here's another thing you gotta look at. That's her side of the story. You know what I'm saying? So like, and she didn't say at the time it happened, hey, I need to call the police. This dude raped me.
Okay.
She could have did that, but
Mm-hmm.
and then you gotta look at it like this: when somebody's that popular, there's always gonna be people that's gonna look at you and be mad at you for standing up for yourself because why are you getting him in trouble? Why are you doing this? Because he's so big. I mean, they said if you go to one of his trainings, it's like 12 to 15,000. You know what I mean? And like I'm doing the training now, right? Where I'm doing it, my final price is like 3,400. But to go to, because now he has them in different countries.
Yeah, you have to pay
He
like
might
room and board and all that shit.
right. So you might go to Mexico or Thailand because I think
You still want it in here in the States, right?
yeah, and he doesn't have it in the same place. So he go, I think he has it twice a year still. And yeah, I mean, you know, he's a powerful guy in that world, and I'm in that world now. It's I think it's only going to get more and more popular because what I'm starting to see is people are coming to me at the gym. I just had somebody come Friday. They were my guests, and then they bought the introductory membership for a month because it's like this. The flexibility you get from yoga, like you hit muscles that like you're just not gonna hit with weightlifting. Weightlifting is essential. All right, this show is called
Can't become an athlete just lifting
Addiction
weights.
and Recovery. So the thing about physical fitness, there's a lot of different things if you want to be complete, right? And this is my passion. So I've done studies about this. I do research on this. I love this. Weight training is good and it helps you, reverse the aging process because you keep your bones. Weightlifting, resistance training is very important. Cardio is very important because that is for the heart and the lungs and everything, and it actually helps, especially if you go into HIIT training and you
Good
push
for the
beyond your
central
max.
nervous system.
It helps prevent dementia and Alzheimer's, right? They've done studies about this. The cold plunge, which I did this morning, that helps with recovery, inflammation, and it also helps with dopamine. You get
serotonin.
it does so
all
much
that
for
shit.
you.
Epinephrine,
The sauna,
norepinephrine.
the sauna. They've done studies. If you could do the sauna 4 times a week, at least 20 minutes each time, it reverses your chance to catch diabetes, heart attacks, high blood pressure by, I think it's 51%.
Real quick, a lot of doctors too have been saying because of just the poisons that they're dropping in our air, that's in our food, especially if you eat processed food, everybody living today should sauna for a minimum of 10 minutes a day just to get the poisons out of us.
Yeah, I do it 20 minutes or 30 minutes because I just built up a tolerance.
And this was like a super old man. This was like a 90-year-old doctor.
And so, like we were talking about earlier, like drinking, smoking, eating bad food. And for me, I call it a treat, like to eat bad food because it tastes good, you like it. But I'm doing this thing called the 75 hard, so I'm not gonna have a so-called cheat meal until November. And I really don't miss it. I mean, the thought, like my daughters had a party for my daughter's boyfriend, so I came home. I stayed out, and I came home today. They had cake, they had all this stuff, pretzels, this and that. And that's stuff that I like, but it's not like I didn't. It's like, I don't need that. I need to feed myself and my spirit all good things. That's why I'm glad I'm doing this yoga training because it's spiritual and it's educational, and I'm gonna learn a lot more about my body. And so we got to do a certain amount of classes, each week, and one of them we have to observe and not take. So I was like, how am I gonna do this? So I told the teacher, I said, look, we do every postures twice. So what I'm gonna do is do one posture. I'm gonna do one set, and then the other set, I'm gonna watch everybody and take notes. So I did it that way, which was good. And I got to watch everybody do yoga, and you see everybody's bodies are different. Everybody's level is different. And there's this one guy, you could tell he just started, and he's overweight and everything. And you could just see how tight he is and this and that. And I'm like, dude. And he was like, and he stayed in there, and he tried hard. He did 90 minutes. And I said, just keep coming, you're gonna get better and better. Because if you just let yourself get old and fat and out of shape, it's only gonna get worse because every day you get older. So like if you're just sitting around drinking beer, eating hoagies, smoking cigarettes, and doing all this
Smoking
stuff,
weed, yeah.
you're killing yourself.
And that's with everything in life. Everything. You keep
we
showing up. You
We're
keep
dying
fighting.
anyway. I mean, every day I'm getting closer to being dead. I mean, that's just we're. As soon as you're born, the clock starts ticking.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the bottom line.
The only thing you're guaranteed in life is to die.
You know what I'm saying?
The one
And
thing
somebody
you're
told
guaranteed,
me
boy.
today at yoga, as soon as you hit puberty, that's when you start, you know, like, because this one lady was telling me her son, who's in high school, wants to start taking yoga because he's like getting stiff. I'm like, really already? She's like, yeah. And so like, they're starting to implement yoga. I noticed the one yoga studio I go to in Bryn Mawr, they have these kids come in their sports team, and the kids love it because they feel better, like stretching, doing all the stuff we're doing, like compression, like it helps you in certain positions we get into are for your colon, the ascending colon, the descending colon. I'm learning stuff, right? Just from repetition and repetition and repetition, and I learned a lot today by watching other people, and I was like, oh wow, and I was looking at this lady, I'm like, damn man, she's my age, and look how flexible she is. And then I look at some young people who are in their 20s, they're
can't
horrible.
barely move, yeah.
You know why? Because they don't do it.
They don't do anything.
They don't do it, but they look like they're in shape. But they're and then another thing I noticed, the willingness to work hard. Some people in there, they're like, I'm like, what the hell are they thinking? They're like, are they even here? Because they're just half doing it, and then you get some woman who's my age who are like killing it,
putting her energy and putting her effort into it.
I'm like, damn, look at her triangle, man. She's got her hand out, and she's really.
You
like,
gotta understand that you're important. Like,
Yeah.
you're important.
Invest
so
in yourself.
everything you do, you need to do with the utmost passion. Every
Yeah.
rep when you're in the gym. Everything you do, you need to expand your horizons and put your passion, put your heart into everything. You are worth
You
it.
benefit when you put effort into your life. When you say, no, I'm going to read this book, or I'm going to listen to this book, or I'm going to go to class and study and try to learn this instead of half-ass. When I was in school, I didn't even want to carry. I didn't know why I didn't want to carry books, because me and a few people thought we were too cool. We didn't want to look like nerds. That's how stupid that is. That's stupid.
Yeah.
We were stupid. And meanwhile, all those nerds, they're our bosses today because these motherfuckers went to school and learned. Now we work for them. Now they're kicking us in the ass, telling us, get back to work before you get fired. I mean, that's the reality. You know what I mean? Like,
Being cool is the dumbest shit ever.
Man, school, and that was my path and everything. And I tell people, and I realize people do what they want to do, man. You can only lead the horse to the water. You can't make them drink it. So everybody's got to go their own way. I just know now, I don't know how much longer I'm going to live, but I'm going to put my best foot forward and try to learn and grow and maximize every hour of my life. And even when I rest, try to do that good. Like, I'm trying to really...
Your sleep is important, man.
Yeah,
you got
man.
to. Everything you do is important. You are, like I was just saying, you're important.
Yeah, man.
You gotta put you into everything.
Yeah, man.
Okay? You're not your past. You're only
I like
right
that.
here.
I like that.
You're not your past or your problems. You're above that. You're above this body. You are the soul that embodies this. So you need to understand that and become that.
Yeah.
And when your problems and your bullshit hit, you need to be above that because you truly are. You're embodying this body for this experience. But you are not this.
No.
Because when it ends, you're going to go somewhere else. And you can talk to yourself without moving your mouth. Just silently speak to yourself in your mind. And you hear it. You hear it inside. So guess what? That's you talking to the mind right there. Boom. You're above this shit. So be above it. Take a step back, reflect on your shit, and solve it. You got to, but understand that you're living in now. You're not in the past. So you got to, whatever you're doing right now,
can't change it.
has to be worth giving your full effort. If it's not, find something that's worth it.
And sometimes your past can help other people, even even if it's a checkered past, even if it's what you consider shameful, because I know that guy shared last night, and people got inspiration from that because the message was that you can turn your life around. Any addict can stop using, find a new way to live, and go on and be successful, man. Like we were on hard drugs, we were on narcotics, and narcotics make you do crazy shit. Me and him sitting right here, we ended up in some bad places. We could have ended up being killed. We could have overdosed and died. A lot of things could have happened.
I literally chose to live on the streets in Camden over living in my
Yeah, 'cause
family's
you're
house
close
just
to the
to
judge.
get high.
Yeah, because that's where the drugs were. That makes sense to me when you're on
Sleeping on a
drugs.
cardboard box in the rain
Yeah.
was more important to me than having a roof over my head.
Yeah,
That's fucking crazy.
yeah. I moved
That
to
was
the
only the
town
beginning.
to where the drugs were because I was like, damn, man, when it gets 2, 3 in the morning, I got to drive back and forth.
Yeah, I'm gonna get arrested.
So I'm going to move there. That way I can just walk or ride my bike to the drug dealer. And that's what I did. And that's when I really went downhill. Because I was there. There was no stopping. There was no cutoff point. I can get high all day, every day, all times of night. Because all I had to do was walk a few blocks over and get it. And that, to me, that was a good move. That was smart. Yeah, right. That's stupid, man. I was trying to kill myself, slowly committing suicide, thinking it's fun and thinking this is a way of life. Now, I'm living this Spartan life, and a lot of people,
you're
a lot
living
of
somebody's
people,
dream, man.
a lot of people think that I'm crazy, but now I'm starting to get like more and more people like, oh man, I'm inspired by what you're doing, man. That yoga thing. This dude yesterday at the meeting, man, yeah, man, and he's young. He's like, I would say he's in his 30s. He's like, yeah, he's lifting weights, this and that. He says, I'm starting to feel this and this and that. I says, yo, man, if you're ready, man, you come be my guest. You can come for free and be my guest, man. You check it out and try it. And I bring a lot of guests. Some people, they come one time, that's it. You know what I mean? Some people come and they love it.
Not everything's for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, but it's got to be, there's nothing wrong with trying it. You know what I mean? At least he tried.
That's another thing. Y'all gotta start trying.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just look at things and think you're not gonna succeed at it, so just not do it. That's some bullshit. You're
Dude.
giving up on yourself before you're even trying. Or you give some half-ass effort, and when you see that it's hard, you're like, oh, I can't do this. Yes, you can. Work at that shit. Put your heart into something and go after it. And like I said, everything. If you're doing something, do it. With everything you got.
All the teachers,
No failure, only success.
just about all the teachers correct me. And I don't take it as anything negative. I take it like, oh, they see potential in me. Because they're like, Steve, straighten your leg, straighten your knee, do this, do that. And as soon as they say it, I'm like, boom, because I wander, my mind's all over the place. So sometimes, and they can say, a couple people told me, I could tell when I start drifting. They could tell, because I'll be thinking about like all the stuff that I got to do. I'm thinking, I'm in next week, I'm in hour from now, like what I'm gonna do after this, and or tomorrow. And what I like about this, my phone is not with me. It's the mirror, me and me versus me. Am I gonna half-ass this posture because I'm tired, or am I gonna do my best I can so I can get in better shape, so I can get in these postures and do my best, or am I gonna half-ass it because I'm tired? But when you half-ass it, it makes it worse, really. You might as well just do it the best you can. And if I'm really, really tired and not feeling good, all right, I'll lay down for a set and come back strong the next one. But am I trying my best? Am I doing my best? Am I giving my best effort? That's these are the things that that I ask myself, and most of the time I'm up to the test. And like as soon as me and him are done, I'm going to the gym for a little while.
And that half-assing shit, that's not just something that's going to... I don't care what you say about it. You can bullshit yourself all day, but that's a behavior. Once you start doing that in one aspect, it's going to snowball into everything else. You're going to half-ass other shit. You're going to quit on other things early. You are going to quit on your relationships when they get hard.
Yeah.
You are going to quit on your job, on your career, on your business when it gets hard.
Yeah.
And you're going to miss out on a whole lot.
Yeah.
And that's a behavior. That is not, like, you're going to play how you practice.
Mm.
So how you train is how you perform.
Right. Right. And I'm gonna study some of my yoga stuff today too. Like I'm gonna take out time for that because I need more balance. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, I'm excited. You know, I hope everything works out with your motorcycle. You get, you know, it's gonna work out.
Yes,
You'll get it
it'll
together.
work out. Life will
But
God's
maybe
working out for
maybe
me.
next time you'll slow down.
Yeah.
You'll learn.
Well, that's it,
What's
you
the
know?
rush? You know what I mean? 'Cause
That's
now
it, man.
you don't rush yourself out of a vehicle. You know what I mean? And but you know we do that stuff. He ain't the only one. And I can kind of chuckle because I've done the same shit. You know what I mean? I've done the same things, and you're like, man, why did I do that? But you know, that's life, man. Life on life terms, and we take it on the chin, man, and get up, dust ourselves off, and get going, man. You know what I mean? He didn't cry about it. He didn't call me and say, yeah, man, I can't do the podcast now because you know I crashed my bike and you know I'm upset. You know I need a few days to get together. Nah, man.
And I held my kickboxing class right before this too, and worked out with the guys
That's what I'm saying. And
with my bandages and shit on.
and he sounded positive to me. He don't sound like somebody who got into an accident. He sounded like somebody who's got into an accident and said, all right, you know, I'm looking at the positive in this, man. The ladies and her kid is all right. I'm all right. And she was cool. We have to call the cops. And, you know, I'm going to take care of what I got to take care of and keep it moving.
Yeah, but keep it real. Like, yo, I feel like shit about it.
Yeah, of
It
course.
hurts.
Yeah.
I'm upset about it. I'm worried about the future now because that's my vehicle. It's how I get around. And, you know, I'm stressed, but you don't see me crying about it. You don't see me acting on it. You don't see me being emotional about it.
You're not getting high over it either.
Not getting high over it. You know, those are weak moves, and those are the moves of men who become school shooters and rapists and beat women. Men who give in to their emotions and weakness.
Yeah.
You know, shitty things are gonna come. Shitty things are gonna happen.
Yeah.
Life, you know, days like this are gonna happen. You don't make them worse,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't make good days bad because days like this are gonna happen.
And Mama said there'll be days like this.
Yeah. Don't preempt them.
Yeah. It's nice out, you know. I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna go to the meeting tonight. And listen to my man Joseph. Shout out to my man Joseph. 14 years. This guy, man, he's a comeback story. He's a Rocky story, and there's a whole fellowship, a room full of people like me, Mike, Joseph, that just said, you know what, we're not gonna give up, we're not gonna give in, we're gonna keep fighting one day at a time, we're gonna do our best, we're gonna have highs and lows and everything in between, we're gonna show people this is the way to be, this is the way to live. And I know lately I've been getting a lot of people inquiring about the hot yoga, and I believe this. I believe that I'm going to become a hot yoga instructor and grow in this area. And I believe because I am a weightlifter and I'm a big muscular dude that people are going to be like, so you do yoga? And it was funny, after the meeting last night, I was showing them on my Instagram and showing them like poses. They were like, damn, bro, look what you, like, you know what I mean? So like, I told you, I'm 58 and I feel great.
That's 58 and he feels great.
I'm ready to go to the gym. I did 2 yoga classes this morning already. You know what I mean? I did the cold plunge, and you know what I'm saying?
I did my cold showers, but I do want to start getting into the ice plunges because I'm at the point where I
Dude,
can turn the water
this
to
is a perfect
ice cold.
area. You get a little
I know
thing.
I gotta buy one.
Buy a Tupperware thing at Home Depot. Just fill it up with water. That's all you gotta do. That's what I did because my puppy kept jumping on my other one, and so I bought a Tupperware one. As soon as it gets cold up,
Oh, yeah, and then you could just freeze the water in there.
the weather will
Yeah,
get it for you because
yeah.
pretty soon it's gonna be cold enough where the temperature's gonna drop at night. So,
Gotta crack the ice on top. Boom.
dude, last winter I did 155 days straight, and some mornings I had to bust it with a weight, a dumbbell, and then jump in there, and I sat there for 4 minutes. And when I got out, my my legs felt like blocks of ice. But I would put on my music and just jump in because your mind is saying, "Are you crazy? You're gonna go outside. It's freezing out there. There's snow on the ground. You're gonna jump in some water?" And I would say, "Yeah, shut up, mind.
Ice water.
Yeah, mind. I'm gonna do it because guess what? Because I can, and it's good for me. I could suck it up for 2 or 3 minutes, 4 minutes, and then come out. And then after that, I would go inside, kind of warm up, dry off, put my clothes on, and it was like better than any coffee. And they said it spikes your dopamine up 16 times more than cocaine does.
It's also your epinephrine and your norepinephrine the same way.
Man, I'd be ready to go. I'd be ready.
Yes, it does the same thing. They
And
said
when
a
it's
line of cocaine
over,
for 5 hours.
it's a sense of accomplishment because it's like it's not easy, and that's what I noticed. And I listen to a lot of different people. I think David Goggins says this, but a couple other people says this. It's good to do hard things. It's good because like most of us want it cushy because that's the world we live in. I mean, when I was a kid, we didn't have microwaves. We didn't even have remote controls. Everything we had to get up and do shit, like and then now it's so comfortable. If you go in a house, oh my God, it's chilly in here. Oh my God, it's hot. We want to be in control.
It's actually not healthy either.
Like always be like comfortable. Like I think only time you should be comfortable is at the end of the day. All right, like you come home, whatever. But like
Your body and mind literally can't get strong unless they're challenged.
dude, like you're sitting in an office.
And that's temperature-wise. That's your immune system.
Do you notice people who sit around, they get carpal tunnel, they get all this other stuff just from not using their bodies.
Yeah.
Our bodies were made to be used, you know what I mean? Like to be hunters, to be farmers, to work the land and
Not to retire and
so
do nothing.
so even if you are a lawyer or whatever, you should go to the gym and work out. You should train your body. You know what I mean? Because especially if you have that kind of job where you can afford to go to the gym, you can afford to go get a cold plunge, you can afford to eat healthy, you can afford supplements. There's no excuse. It's just a choice. What do you want to do? You know what I mean? You want to just,
It doesn't
whatever.
feel good to be fat. It just doesn't. It's heavy. It's hard. It hurts. I got overweight for a short period of time, and I wasn't even that overweight, but to the point where I had to change the way I couldn't just pull my leg up and put my socks on. Like my stomach was so fat, I had to like jerk my leg up and hold it there to put my socks on. Dude, that fucking was disgusting. It sucked. Just to do that was an issue, and then I ended up breaking up with my girlfriend because I was embarrassed to take my clothes off in front of her. I was fat. I was pathetic.
You know what's funny?
I felt disgusting. Like there's no way you're gonna say, "Oh, you're in shape. You don't know what it's like." Okay, so I did. So I do, and I wasn't even close to obese, and it was not comfortable. It's not physically comfortable. It's not physically comfortable to have tight ass waistband on your clothes. It's not. It's mentally and emotionally it plays on you.
Yeah.
And then he's talking about the serotonin and the dopamine and all that shit. There's no dopamine in that body when you're pumping donuts and sugar all morning for breakfast. There's no dopamine in that body. You're playing video games and scrolling. That shit is gone.
Yeah.
And you're wondering why you're unhappy.
Yeah.
You can lie online and tell people you're happy and you're good, and you can put some smiley video up and say I'm beautiful.
Well,
Fucking not.
social media is, we put on there sometimes just what we want people to see. It doesn't mean that necessarily we're happy. It just means that we look happy.
Well, we should start being a little more honest.
You know what I'm saying?
We need to start being a little more honest.
Yeah, I mean, some people can be honest, but for the most part, people just share the good times.
Why do you want to live lies anyway? Live bullshit. Post up bullshit.
Sometimes you need to tell people, hey man, I'm struggling right now. You know what I mean? Or this is what I used to look like. Look at me now. Like, you know what I mean? I like that. Like I put that picture up and it showed me at 48 and at 58. At 48, I was weighing 270, and back then, I was lifting weights, whatever. That's all I pretty much did, and I was definitely overweight. and my knees started bothering me, and I definitely didn't like my stomach, and I was, oh, I'm a single dad, I don't have time like I used to. I made excuses, but I got tired of that, and then my kids got older, they got more independent, and I started little by little, man, just chipping away at it, and then now I can't live without it, man. I do not want to go backwards. I want to go forward. I want to see how far I can go, and how much potential. I got potential. It's obvious. You know what I mean? So I'm shooting for the stars, man. Who knows where I'm going to end up? Trying to be a model at 58. I mean, come on.
Well, I've ended.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I've ended, fucker.
Let's wrap it up anyway.
Yeah.
We've been going for a while.
All right, y'all. We
All
love
right.
you. Like, follow, share,
Yes.
comment.
Yeah.
If you have any questions, reach out. If anybody needs any help, reach out. We're here for you.
Yeah.
Roundtable Wellness and Fit on IG.
Big D 2440 and the Yoga Guy 50, baby.
Mike's Recovery Roundtable on TikTok. Gotcha.
Stay
yo.
clean, get clean.
Love yous.
Peace out.
Later, guys. What the fuck was that? Just decided to stop?
So, do I, this part right here.
So
Hit
go to
share?
Share, yep. Do you want to type in whatever you want to type in? That sucks. I can't. I gotta try to find out how to share this now.
I wonder why I did that. Did you not have enough room or something?
I think it was like going in and out. It kept stopping.
I saw that.
Because of the
Episode 29, right?
yes.
Oh,
It
next
was
week's
stopping.
episode 30.
Yeah. Come on. It kept stopping because of.
So now just hit this.
No, just touch this down here. Just like touch that. Oh. No, cancel. Okay, now share.
Boom.
All right, so let's see if I can share it from here. All right, oh, cool, I can share it. But it's only going to be a reel. I don't think it's going to be the whole thing. Let's see if it does.
That was a good one.
Yeah, we just completely freestyled that one, too.
Yep.
Talked about crashing my motorcycle, the ups and downs of recovery, and self-importance. Oh, when it takes long, it usually is posted the whole thing. Cool. Hopefully it does. I only had a couple people in the live anyway.
Me too.
We gotta start advertising during the week.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I've put out a couple clips. Like I've clipped up our shit a couple times, and then one time I clipped one of our episodes, and it was like 3 minutes of clips. So I put it all in order on my story. So everybody, like when they went on my story, they saw all 3 of them in a row.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, I'm gonna start, I have another one, and some dude from Serbia hit me up online, and he said he tried to get me to pay for his online advertising for my company, and I couldn't afford it. And he tells me now he really likes my stuff, and he wants to help me. So he's like, make some videos this week and send it to me. And he's gonna edit them for me and kind of coach me up with some stuff online to get some more followers and some more engagement.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to send him the clipped up episodes, see what he can put up, see what he can do. And I'll probably just put myself in the beginning of it.
Nice.
Just here's some clips from last Sunday's podcast on Addiction and Recovery Talk. Boom, and then it'll be just our clip.